Xenos Rampant. Well, here's the real cover right here. This is the week that these rules drop. Well, not these rules. These are the beta test rules for the official title, which drops a bespoke 240-page, I don't know, it's like 1 billion pages. I'm not affiliated with Osprey in any way, shape, or form. I'm just a fan of this rule set, and I didn't want to wait until I got my grubby little hands on a hot little copy, so I'm going to play a game of these beta test rules and show you how they might look when you get your grubby little Wargamer hands on a copy. In this corner, we have the Battlesuit Bastards. War Dogs incorporated themselves. 3 units of elite infantry, each costing 8 points apiece. You can tell which one is the leader. He's the big boy, pointing the finger, telling the guys which guns to go run at. These guys have the special abilities Ranger, they fight normally in terrain, and the special ability Affray. On any turn where they rally, they can still take an action as normal. They have a defensive 5, they're hard to put down, and that's really all I need to tell you at this point because the stats will become clear as we go through. The gameplay is very much like the Men Who Would Be Kings, making activation checks, except these guys automatically pass any attack order and any shoot order. They are elites, after all. And in this corner, we have the Space Dwarves. They consist of 2 units of heavy infantry and 2 heavy vehicles. Now, these heavy vehicles normally cost 6 points. We have purchased the Walker upgrade, which reduces their movement by 2 inches, but they can assault manned positions. When you win a melee against an entrenched position, if your opponent retreats, you as the attacker can move into that entrenched position. Normally vehicles can't do that, but these vehicles can. They are also fleet-footed. The heavy infantry, for their part, have a special ability called Go to Ground. It's kind of like Shield Wall or Wall of Spears. Your defense goes down. Normally these guys fight on a defense of 4 up. When they go to ground, if they are assaulted in melee, that goes to a 5 up, which is worse, obviously. But when you shoot at them, their armor goes up by 1. Instead of armor 3, they go to armor 4. So it's really useful for taking ground and holding it so long as you don't get jumped in melee. Today we are playing Defend the Indefensible. You see that little space station there in the center? The Battlesuit Bastards are on the attack. They just need to get into contact with that station, but they need to clear the defenders first. The defenders deploy first, and they're going for a hard left punch. They put their walkers down here in the foreground and their heavy infantry here in the center. The leader, by the way, I don't think I mentioned, see this guy with a battle axe? Let's see if we can bring him a little bit closer so you can see him just a little bit better. There's his back. Hey, look at the camera, guy. Don't be shy. He is from Alternative Armies, and the rest of these guys are Space Dwarves from, I can never remember. These are hassle-free Grimmin. They're 28mm Dwarf figures, which mean they pair really well. Look how good those guys look as walkers, Dwarf walkers. For their part, the humans are happy to meet the walkers over here on this side of the battlefield. Remember, the elite infantry, these are Coruscant miniatures, by the way. I know there's only 5 in my command stand. The leader is worth 2 wounds. I only have 17 guys. Normally it's 6 points. 5 in this case is fine. As elite infantry, they can automatically pass any attack check, meaning charge into melee, or shoot check. But in order to move, they have to roll a 6 or better. So I'm going to start with my leader. He will move 3 inches. Then these guys will move on a score of an 8, and the last guys with a score of a 4 will end the turn. Remember, a failed activation ends your turn. I'm also going to use the since it's just me, I'm just going to use the loosey-goosey, hey, you get to move 3 inches. All right, we move the leaders up 3 inches. We'll cheat him over just a little bit. And then you kind of bring the rest of the unit as, what would you call it, like mobile hit points up, like so. The heavy infantry automatically pass shoot orders. The walkers automatically pass move orders, and they get to move 4 inches. So we're going to slide them up like that. But we do need to roll for this other unit of heavy infantry. They are only going to move on a 5 or better. With a result of an 8, they get it. I'm going to roll these activation dice in the order that I'm hoping to pull this off. I'm going to try moving these guys first. Once again, looking for a 6 or better. And that's going to be it for the attackers. Ooh, they are going to have a fight on their hands, aren't they? I won't be too surprised if these walkers just charge in and just like absolutely decimate the Battlesuit bastards. Now we have to see if these guys can move up. Once again, they will on a 5 or better, and our leader will slide. You know, I think I'm going to bring him up this way. The Dwarf plan is basically to let those walkers do the heavy lifting and maybe get that other unit up into here where they can hunker down, start opening fire. Once again, we're going to try this unit, looking for a 6 or better. We get it. Then the leader's unit will move on a 6 or better. We get it. And then this last unit on a 6 or better, we get it. So clean sweep. Everybody moves up. And we're getting to the point that both forces are available on screen at the same time. As before, we're going to bring our walkers up. And we're going to try to bring these heavy infantry around the side. With the result of a 12, we'll be able to do that. Rolling for the guys in back. Success. Rolling for the guys in the center. Fail. All we're going to be able to do for the humans this turn is bring this unit up 3 inches like so. And you're not going to win a scenario rolling activations like that, fellas. Since we've already got them on station, let's go ahead and let's take a look. If these guys wanted to shoot, they'd have to make a check. I'm really just going to go ahead and move them up one last time. I know that exposes them to some gunfire on the next turn, but it also forces the humans to make a difficult decision. Do we send everything north, or do we try to deal with these 2 walkers with just the 1 unit of elite foot? Kind of a conundrum. The only other roll we have to make, no, well, I can show you. There's our kill zone starts, there's 3 inches there, or 9 inches rather, is right here. So our kill zone starts in here, meaning these guys don't get the auto shoot. Of course, they're not going to come out, but the guys that you can't see, block line of sight, the leader behind the tower here has rolled a 3 for his activation and is perfectly comfortable letting the walkers do all the work. So play kicks back over, and now we have to decide. Do we want to go ahead and exercise our free shoot action? I think you do in this case. Or do we want to go with an attack action? If they shoot, they'll be hitting on... And if they shoot, which one do they want to shoot? I think let's go ahead and shoot this guy. We'll take the shot. It's free, and with a shoot action, you are successful on 4s. With an attack action, well, of course we can't because we're too far away, right? You have to be within 3 inches to exercise that attack action. I'm going to be using the red dice for the dwarves and blue dice for the humans. The humans are in blue battle armor, so that should be easy. As I said, within 6 inches, there's no penalty. Our shoot, we are hitting on 4s, and we need to score a grand total of 5 hits to do a wound to a walker. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We just pulled it off. I can't remember which one were we shooting. I'm going to roll again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, 4, 5, 6. We were shooting at this guy here. And although they have a grand total of 6 wounds, that does force him to make a morale check. Normally, walkers have a courage of 4. With the 1 wound, he needs to roll a 5, and he does. So he will fight as normal next turn. We could also, there's 6 inches, he's just within range. We could take another shot at this guy with our leader, but I think we need to get into position to start attacking that tower. So our leader is going to try to move on a 6 or better. With a result of a 4, he will not succeed, and it becomes the walker's turn. Now the walkers, we're going to do something a little wonky. This guy, they're both 4 inches away. I'm going to go ahead and move this guy up the 4 inches. We will assault with him on next turn, and we're going to shoot with this guy. At least we're going to try. Walkers can shoot on a 6 or better. And with a 7, he pulls it off. Walkers have a shoot ability of 5 or better. It is close range, so yeah, it is 5 or better. And of course, we're looking to score 5 hits. We get a total of 1, 2 hits, and that's it. So that shoot did nothing. But we can try to bring our leader around a little more. With a result of an 8, he will move an additional 3 inches. 1, 2, 3, and we're getting closer to the point where we can go to ground and basically serve as another hard point defending our tower. In fact, that may be the order to go with on the next turn. These guys, the humans, attack automatically, and they hit on 4s. The walker defends on 5s, meaning it makes more sense for our Battlesuit boys to jump into the fray like so. And we have our first melee, which looks a little something like this. Blue dice looking for 4s, red dice looking for 5s. Well, they're a little bit cocked, but she's going to fall like that. Let me take out the misses. That's going to be no hits for the walkers and just 1 hit for the elite infantry. The walker needs a morale check, and he needs a 5 or better, or he's going to retreat. Now, he passes that check, which means our attackers have to fade back the 1.5 inches. Normally, it's 3 inches, or is it a half a move? I always just pull them back 1 inch for the foot. I think that probably makes a lot more sense because it shows that separation. He's going to have to assault, or he can just open fire. We are now on to the rest of the Battlesuit turn. We want to know if these guys will move up. And with a result of a 5, that's going to end their turn. The Space Dwarves have an option of swinging this walker around the backside, and that's what they're going to do. That's a free action. Remember, they automatically pass a move action. Then we're going to try to bring our leader out one more time, and we will succeed. And then, with our last potential action, we're going to see if this walker can attack, so it will be an even contest, 4s versus 4s. With the result of a 10, he gets it. Let's go to the dice tray. Sons of Thunder. I knew I would remember. The other dwarf figures come in a great big pack from Rebel Miniatures. I knew it. And speaking of thunder, whole lot of dice. Everybody is looking for 4s. Everybody's hoping to score at least 5 of them. We get 6 for the humans and 2, 4, 6, 7 for the dwarves, for 1 casualty for each side. We're dealing with this fight down here. The walker is looking to score at least a 6 to pass. Courage of 4, -2. He gets a 6 and he passes. The humans are within 6 inches of their leader, so despite the fact that they have 1 casualty, they are rolling and hoping for a 3 or better. They fail. How about that? That means they are going to be battered to start the next turn. They fall back 3 inches. I'm sorry, 1.5 inches. And we need to get the red gem out for them. That is also the end of the turn. So we kick on over to these guys. Let's see if they can pass their battered check. And we're now looking for a 3 or better. And with a result of a 7, they pass. So this goes away. Now, normally, a unit that passes its morale check is done for the turn. But these guys, as elite infantry, have the special ability called a fray. They can take an action on the turn that it rallies. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and dive right back into melee with this walker. We really like our odds, given the fact that we hit on 5s and he hits on 4s when we attack him. Our walker will be at half strength for the remainder of the game. He needs to roll a 7 or better to stay in the fight. And with a result of a 6, he's going to fall back 2 inches to here. The humans suffer a casualty as well. They are down to 4 figures, and they need to roll. They are within 6 inches of the leader, so they're at +1. They're at a total of -1. They need to roll a 4 or better. And the 4 is successful, although they're pushing it, aren't they? Still the human's turn. The leader would like to move up 1, and with an 8, he'll get it. And then the last unit in the back, they also want to move up, and with a 4, they will not. They are going to maintain their position as a somewhat reluctant mobile reserve. And I think the humans now, I know the tower is the objective, but we want to drive these walkers from the field, and then we can throw everything we have at the tower. So this kind of flank of the battle is proving to be somewhat important. We have to start with this walker hoping to remove his battered. With a result of a 5, he is going to fail. So not only does he fall back, is it a full move when you fail that? I think it's a half a move. He takes an additional wound as well. He is now up to So he is now up to 4 wounds. This leader unit, there's 6 inches. There's another 3. He is within range. Heavy infantry gets a free shot at him. Rolling 12 dice, looking for, I can't remember. It's at long range, so it's at -1. And heavy infantry shoot on 4s. They're only successful on 5s. They're only going to score 1-2 hits. That is not enough to remove any casualties. But I think it was worth doing. Then we're going to try to bring our, I think we're going to bring these guys up just one more time. We don't want to risk being flanked and not having any participation. Unfortunately, with that move order of 5, oh no, they are successful on a 5. So he is going to be able to move to right here. And now they are really defending this whole side of the battlefield. On the next turn, once again, he's going to have to pass a go to ground in order to maintain his position and, really put paid to these guys. We're giving up some shooting power, but we're gaining some stability and some security. That is going to end the turn for the Space Dwarves. And now our humans are going to, we've already done a good job driving him back. We are within 3 inches of this second walker. I think we go ahead and bring these guys to assault him as well. We're still at full strength. And I guess that's the question. Do we bring them up or do we bring him up? Let's bring these guys up. With the red dice looking for 5s. They get a grand total of 1, 2, 5s. That's it. The blue dice are going to get a total of 5 hits and then a couple of extra scrap. That does 1 point of damage to the walker. The walker is looking for a 6 or better. With a result of an 8, he's okay, meaning our attackers have to fade back that 1 inch. Then we can attack this second walker with our leader. This does not require a test. And we do the exact same process. I really think we have to defeat these walkers in this manner. We're looking for 4s for the blue guys, and we get a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. The guy in red is looking for 5s. He only gets 1, 2, 3, 4. And the theory is borne out. He is now at -3 on his morale check. He needs a 7 or better. With a result of a 4, -3, he gets a 1. He's still on the table, but he has to retreat 2 inches to here, I guess? Like so. There's some question about whether or not he's able to do that or whether he's penned in. I don't know in this rule set if you have that 1 inch. If you don't have the ability to retreat away from any enemies, because he's pinned in position, he may need to take another wound. But given how badly things are going, I'm going to give them just a little bit of hope. The last thing we have to do is try to bring this unit up into position, and with the result of a 6, they are finally going to get on the move. Hey, it's safe now. You can come and play, guys. And it's really going to be important that they get up and engage at least one of these units, because on the dwarf turn, we have, the first thing we got to do is check morale. We're going to check morale of this guy first. He is at -4. 7 -4 forces him to retreat another 2 inches to here. And he is at 5 wounds altogether. I'm going to use a yellow chip to mark 5 wounds. That will help keep things a little bit tidy over here. What do you say? So he's now at 5, and then his counterpart over here is at -3. He's got a courage of 4. -3, he needs a 7, and he gets a 7, so he does recover, but that's all he's going to be able to do on this turn. Both of our units of heavy infantry are going to light up the leader unit. And what I'm going to do to save a little bit of time is roll all 24 dice. The red dice will be for one unit, the blue dice for the other unit. It doesn't matter which one is the one that hits. The important thing is we're not tallying up total 5-ups. Normally they hit on 4s. At long range it becomes 5s. We have to have 5 in the red and 5 in the blue. And in the blue we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is 1 hit for one of them. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the other, for a total of 2 hits to that leader unit. Now the leader unit suffers its first casualty. And, ooh, I guess that was a mistake, because if he fails this, things get funny. With a result of a 4, he passes. Okay, so it doesn't matter. He still stands strong. If he had failed, he would have fallen back, and then maybe these guys couldn't shoot. But be that as it may, he does stand his ground, and he loses a second figure and has to pass a second check at -2, +1 because he's a leader. This 10 becomes an 8, becomes a 9. He's fine. He's fine. And that will end the turn for the Space Dwarves. We're going to assault this unit with the Walker is going to be assaulted by the kind of battered unit here. And we're going to have to fight another round of combat. Now this time, because the Walker has taken 6 casualties, he's only going to be rolling 6 dice. And he still only hits on a 5 or better. Whereas the humans are hitting on 4s. The humans get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits to do 1 wound. And to no one's surprise, the Walker does not get any hit. The Walker has to make a morale check at -4. And with a result of a 7, -4, that's a 3. He will retreat 1, 2 inches. And next turn, he's going to start off as battered. That frees up our lead. Boy, what do we do here? Does our leader charge into the fight, or do we bring these guys up? Let's bring these guys up first. Looking for a 5 or better for these elites to move. And now we're getting into it, aren't we, fellas? Now we're forcing the dwarves to have to decide how are we going to use our gunfire. They are at 6 inches. But remember, these guys, they fought last turn. Do we want to send them to ground? If they're within 6 inches, they're within 6 inches. Things get a little tight. But we still have to decide what to do with these guys, don't we? In fact, what we may be able to do is rush them over here and deal with that unit. I don't think we want to do that, though. I think we go ahead and just assault this unit. We're moving into position. On a 6, they will move the 3 inches to here. We'll bring our leader up to the front. And that's going to be the end of the turn for the humans. So our dwarves, he has to make a morale check at -5. And with a result of a 3, he's going to quit the field. That is an 8-point unit that has left the field. This guy needs to make a morale check at -4. 10 -4 is 6. He has a courage of 4+, so he at least loses the gem, and on the next turn he can take action. The guys in the tower are shooting at the leader unit. They automatically pass that action, and they hit on 4s. They get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's not enough to knock out the leader. That means if we want this unit to fire at the leader as well, I think we really do. The leader is the closest. We just got to keep him from touching. Once again, we're looking for 5s, and we only get 1, 2 of those. Not great shooting there, dwarves. It's not going well for you guys, is it? Well, that's going to be the end of the dwarf turn, meaning our heroes, well, the humans, will go ahead and assault this walker one more time. If we can drive him from the field on this turn, then we can force the space dwarves to make a couple of morale checks. And, you know, if we get lucky, we may drive them from the field. Oh, our red dice, we only get to roll 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The red dice do not get any hits. Hitting on 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits for the blue. That puts our walker at 5 on his morale check. He scores 3, which is not enough. He is going to retreat 1, 2 inches, and he is going to continue to remain out of the fight. Now our leader, how far away is he from the tower? We're going to bring him up to here. Well, if we, are we? Are we really? We need to roll. Yes, we get a 9. So we're going to bring him up to here, and that puts him out of, well, no, he's still in a fire arc, but that puts him within charge distance of the tower. The last unit of guys, remember, is only 6 inches away. We're going to go ahead and take a shot with him. Our shooters are hitting on 4s against a unit that only has an armor of 3. So now for the first time we get 1. Oh, we didn't get that second hit, did we? Our dwarf unit loses 1 guy. Our dwarf unit is the leader unit. They are going to be rolling at evens at a 7. They pass and they're fine. The dwarves have to go, and they have to start with a morale check. Get out of the way, guys. We're going to re-roll that. 7 minus 5 is a 2. He's going to retreat one more time, and because he's already battered, that retreat costs him an additional hit point worth of damage, and that's his 6th hit point, so he's dead. Now 16 points are lost for the part of the Space Dwarves. These guys have to make a morale check. Everybody on the dwarf side, because they're at less than half, has an additional -1 to all of their morale checks. They still pass. Our leader has to check. His unit is at -2, 1 because they're at half, 1 because they've taken a casualty, but then back up 1 because of the leader. So they're only at -1, and they're going to pass and be just fine as well. So we have 2 units that are going to shoot, and both of those units automatically pass their shoot action. For the first unit, we roll, and we are looking for, on this leader, and we are looking for 5s on the shoot action. We get a total of 1, 2, 3, and that is not going to cut the mustard, guys. Then we have a second unit that is also going to fire. Oh, he's out of short range, so we're going to fire down here at this human unit and see if we can at least do a casualty down on that side of the battle. Make sure we get our dice right, and once again, we're looking for 5s. Not great at shooting, are these guys? Oh, I am missing a die here. Let's roll one more. We get a total of 1, 2 hits, and that's not going to be enough, is it? So the dwarf turn ends very ignominiously. It's not looking good for the dwarves. Our Marines are going to start off with a charge action. They're going to fight against these guys who are in the tower. And because they attacked, they are going to be attacking on 4-ups, and our defenders are going to be on, what do they defend at? 4-ups. So it's 4s across the board, with the difference being that the blue dice score a hit for every 4 that they roll, and the red dice score a hit for every 5 that they roll. And they score a total of 1, 2, 3 hits. So no hits to the humans, to 1 hit for the dwarves. And the dwarves have to make a rally check at -1. -1 for the defense, for the casualties. -1 for being at half casual. The army is at half, but the leader is close enough that they will get that extra bonus. The result of a 7 is successful, and our humans have to fall back like so. And they will get shot at by these guys, but they are now out of the arc of fire for these guys. Now we are going to go ahead and take a shot. I think we'll just engage in a gunfight here with these guys, because if we can do enough casualties, we're rolling 4s to hits to drive them off. That's fine. We've got another unit that we're going to try to swing around and get into melee as well. Hitting on 4s, and that's a phenomenal roll, isn't it? We get hits for every... And again, these guys are not hunkered down yet, so they only have an armor of 3. We get 1, 2, 3 hits altogether. We will remove 1, 2, 3 dwarves. And now they have to take a casualty. Now they're taking a total of 4 casualties, plus the extra 1 for being at half. Well, they're a total of -4. 10 minus 4 is a 6. They will survive to fight another day. That's the end of the turn for the humans. No, these guys haven't gone yet. We still have to roll to see if they activate. With a 9 they do. They're going to swing 3 inches around this way. And now our dwarves get to take their shots. I'm going to get rid of the blue dice. And once again, the guys in the tower are going to shoot first. Looking for 4s. I think I got that wrong last turn. But they need to score 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they do 1 casualty to this unit, which is now at half strength and has to make a morale check at -2. 6 minus 2 is a 4. They have a courage of 3. They're fine. They're at -2 because they've lost 3 casualties, but it is a leader unit. This unit is going to fire on the humans, and they are also going to be hitting on 4s. They get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then some junk hits. That eliminates 1 figure. forces a morale check at -1. They're too far from their leader. And with the result of a snake eyes, they're going to run away. Boop, boop, boop. And they're going to have to make pass a rally check next turn. And they're going to run directly away from those guys. That is the end of the dwarf turn. We kick back over to the human turn. And now these guys are only at half strength. So what do we... Well, first we have to see if these guys rally. And with the result of a 6, they will. And they can shoot. Boy, they're at long range, though. Maybe what we do is swing them around. Oh, you can't even see them, can they? I'm sorry. There we go. See these guys here? We could swing them around this way. Can they be shot at by any of these guys? There's 6 inches, and there's 9. So 9 inches looks a little something like that. We could try to move them out of the way. Do we assault with just 6 guys? That sounds like a losing proposition, doesn't it? I know we want to bring these guys up. Let's... They have an armor of 4, and we're attacking with 4-ups. Can we get 4 hits? They're going to get shot to ribbons, too. We're going to try to bring them back to here. We need to preserve our leader. Hey, he's going to fall back, and then these guys are going to walk up and kind of take the heat from him. Like so. Then, what do we do with these guys? I think we're going to move up. Do we take the shot at long range? We get 12s hitting on 5s. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead. I like the odds. We only need to score 3 hits. We shoot at a 5 or better at long range. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we only wipe out 1 guy. But these guys are now down to just 7. They are at a total of -5 on this check. 8 minus 5 is a 3. They have a courage of 4. They are going to fall back 1.5 inches, and they are going to be battered, and that buys us a little bit of time and a little bit of positioning. We move these guys, and these guys. The dwarves now have to make a rally check, and with the result of a 1, not only do they fail, they're going to fall back another 1.5 inches, and they take another casualty. They are at half strength, but the leader is still on the board. That is important because the leader is stiffening these guys' spines. These guys take a shot at the near group. And since I have the blue dice here, I'm just going to roll the blue dice. They are automatically passing the shoot order. They're hitting on 4s. We need a total of 5 of them. They get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. That eliminates a figure. That forces a morale check at -2. Leader's still there. They get a total of 4, so they pass that check, but they are now at half strength as well. So we get a couple of half strength units that are busy assaulting, and we're going to do that. We're going to start off by jumping into action with these 3. I know there's only 6 of them. I know we need to score 4 hits. So our blue dice need 4 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, and they got it. They're going to force a morale check. They do a casualty. Our red dice are defending on 4s. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they get it. And they force a morale check as well. Claw this stuff out of the way, and we got to roll for the blue, and we got to roll for the red. The blue are at a total of -4, plus 1 because of the leader. So they're at -3. They get a 7 minus 3 is 4. They pass. 9. How many guys are left on here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they've only lost 2. The leader doesn't count. So they're at -2. They're actually at -3, but they pass either way. These guys are going to have to fall back that 1.5 inches. And then our leader is going to, we gotta move them up. Well, first let's move these guys up the 3 inches. We're just gonna bum rush the gap here. And really, I think that's what it boils down to, is these guys need to hang on and threaten long enough for these guys to get into position to make that assault. Then we have to decide what we're going to do with this guy. Let's just go ahead and take the shot. We get a free shot. We get to roll 6 dice. We are looking for 4 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do another casualty. We'll remove this guy. They have lost 5 casualties so far. I think, what is it? No, 3. 3 casualties. Checking morale on -3. 6 -3, they are successful. But we're whittling them down, aren't we? The dwarf leader has to pass a morale check with a result of a 7, -6 because of casualties, -1 because they're at half, puts him at 0, and the leader now skedaddles. And not only that, but these guys have to pass a morale check as well because the leader ran off. And with an 11, they don't care. They're safe in their little hidey hole, and they're not impressed. They are going to get to take a shot at the... Let's take a shot at the leader. Shooting on 4 or better. We need to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is the 4th casualty on that leader. He has to pass a morale check at -3. 7 -3 is 4. They have a courage of 4. He's fine. And it's going to be the humans' turn. The humans are going to continue trying to soften up the defenders inside that building. Not going to waste any time trying to assault it anymore because we think we can drive them off. He is firing at half strength. He needs 4 4s. He gets a 4, 5, 5, and a 6 for 1 more casualty. The dwarves have been reduced to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're at -5 on the roll altogether. They get an 8 -5 is 3, and they are going to retreat out of the building. And we'll put them back to where they're out of the line of fire. I'm going to bring everybody back. All right, so now they've retreated, and they are battered, and now all we need to do is succeed with a move action for these guys. They bum rush the inside of the building. And that is going to be the end of the game. I told you this system works fantastic for sci-fi. Didn't I tell you that? Kind of an exciting thing, a near run. Could have gone either way. A couple of big rolls, one direction or the other would have made a huge difference. That's all I got time for today, guys. Remember, I'm praying for you.